couple things happened with Iran. Yesterday, a picture was going viral all over the place of Reza Pahlavi seen with Korea Marina Machado. Rob, if we can zoom in on the tweet so I can read the tweet as well. I don't know if you can do that. There you go. At the pleasure meeting, Reza Pahlavi, we exchanged insights on respective struggles and aligned our efforts. Shared purpose, the liberation of Iran and Venezuela. I express my deep admiration for the Iranian people. As the authoritarian regime deepens their criminal cooperation, those of us who stand for freedom, the alliance of Caracas and Tehran has turned Venezuela into a epicenter of Iranian influence, jeopardizing the security of the entire Western Hemisphere. The survival of these regimes is not only a tragedy for our citizens, who overwhelmingly, at least if you're going to use ChatGPT, clean it up.
I know.
By using Venezuela as a primary platform, the Iranian regime fuels instability, terrorism, and transnational criminal networks that extend far beyond our networks. A free Iran and a free Venezuela, more than just goals. Okay, so you see this picture. And I was like, oh my God, look what's going on. Why are they together? It's the right people to be together. They have a lot in common. The difference is Maria Corina Machado lives in Venezuela. She's there every day. She's been there her entire life pretty much. She's been involved there. She's with her people. Reza Pahlavi has been outside for 48 years, independently. He's not been in Iran. She is. However, both of them have a lot in common. Their countries, you know, the leader of Iran was replaced, Maduro, okay, which is no longer there. He's in New York or wherever he's at now at this place. He could be in D.C. or in New York. You know, where the moment Maduro failed, president didn't come in and automatically give it to Edmundo Gonzalez or Maria Corina Machado. It's like, no, let's just do another election, see what happens. Now, on the streets, everybody is saying, well, something's about to happen to Khamenei. There's reports that Lazard's CEO, Peter Orzog, predicts something big that happens in Iran over the next few days. And by the way, this is a story from yesterday. Rob, is this the clip of him talking about it? Go for it.
I think it's very likely that over the next few days there will be something that happens in Iran. And
You
it
do?
might be something big, yes.
Why do you think that?
I did, well, from a variety of different,
Sources?
Indirect information, and also, to your point, I think it's entirely possible the United States was waiting for the carriers to arrive.
Was waiting for them, sorry.
For the carriers to arrive.
And that this is just, so that the Greenland story is just a head fake?
I don't know about a head fake, but it has the effect of, it has that effect even if that's not the intent.
And that would mean what? How does that play out if that's actually the case?
Then the big question becomes, can you actually do regime change through effectively a bombing campaign? And I don't think we have any history in which that's effective, but we'll see. It depends what the objective of what happens is. If it's to take out the ballistic missiles, that can be successful. If it's regime change, you know, that's got a more checkered history.
Okay, so now you watch this and watch what happens next. Couple stories. The president says the following. He says, Trump claims Iran does want to talk, and will talk as he rolls out border peace. Is this it, Rob?
It's a short clip, but yes.
Go for it.
And Iran does want to talk, and we'll talk.
That's it.
That's a long clip, Rob. That is the shortest clip we've ever put up. That was phenomenal, right? But he commented about this in passing at Davos, establishing an international border peace and oversee ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and the Gaza Strip. And then while this is going on, Iran protest numbers are looking at 20,000 plus. Some reports are saying 30,000. Some have even said 50,000. The lowest number you read everywhere is around 3,500 to 4,500 killings. I've seen the videos that are being sent. Some of them were sent to me this morning. Absolutely devastating, tragic to even take a look at. Number of people reported killed in Iran's protest crisis has surged, with one UN special reporter saying the total could be around 20,000. U.S.-based human rights activist news agency said it's verified 5,002 deaths and is reviewing a further 9787, while more than 26,000 people have been arrested. Iranian authorities reported 3117 deaths, and of which 2427 are considered innocent, including members of the security forces, but doesn't provide a breakdown to refer to any civilians. And by the way, this is what they had to say yesterday. Iran warns Trump not to take action against the supreme leader Khamenei. Rob, if you want to play this clip, go forward.
گرفتن آقای ترامپ که نگاه میکنم یاد
گیر کردن لشکرهای هیتلر تو برفای روسیه میافتم. هیتلر اونجا که شکست خورد دیگه تا خود آلمان هم
Trump's military reminds me of
نصف
Hitler
آلمان
that got stuck in Russia.
I wonder where he got
اینا
that rhetoric.
متوجه نیستن که ایران همون برفای روسیه است.
Iran is like the Russian winter.
هرچه ترامپ میاد جلوتر اوضاعش بدتر میشه. ترامپ اینا گفته ببینید من نمیخوام یه جنگ طولانی بکنم.
I don't want a long war. I will carry out one short
میخوام
attack.
بکنم کوتاه مدت. خب آقای ترامپ تو فکر کردیم ما بعد از اینکه یه حمله کوتاه مدت کردی دوباره تقاضای آتش بس میخوای بکنی حتما. بعد فکر میکنید ایران این بارم آتش بس رو قبول میکنه؟ ما توصیه میکنیم عقب برید.
We
دیگه
advise you to
بیشتر
pull
از این
back.
جلو
Do not
نرید.
advance any further.
ما اگر راه بیفتیم ما دیگه بحث آتش بس و این چیزا نداریم ها. ما هم الان به صراحت بهتون میگیم این ضرباتی که زدید، این خساراتی که تو این 50 سال وارد کردید، این هرچه ما داریم نجابت و صبر راهبردی به خرج میدیم شما توجه نمیکنید. بله مسئله جدیه ولی
This is indeed a serious
نیروهای
matter,
مسلح
but
ما
our armed
آمادن.
forces are ready.
ما دستمون نه تنها روی
Not
ماشه‌های
only do we have our finger on the
گلوله هم
trigger,
توی
the
لوله
bullet is
تفنگ
already chambered.
و آماده است. آقای ترامپ هر شب خواب نفت و گاز ایران
Every
رو
night
می‌بینه.
to Mr. Trump
Yeah.
dreams
باید
of
از
Iran's
کلش بیاد
oil.
بیرون.
Okay. So how do you process that? Because Tucker said the other day, he said he believes, I think, Rob, if you want to find this tweet, Tucker said he believes the Middle East would be safer. I'm paraphrasing. We can validate that if Iran had nuclear weapons, right? Okay. I think he said that. Again, right there, Rob. Go above it. Go above with the Iranian flag. No, that one, go a little bit lower, Rob. Right there. Right in front of you. Right there. Rob, right above it, Rob.
Yeah, that one.
No, right there.
Yeah.
That one right there. Yeah, there you go. Is that what it's saying, Rob?
Says
There you go. Tucker Carlson says a nuclear-armed Iran could deter attacks, limit U.S. and Israeli intervention, and reduce pressure on Tehran, potentially stabilizing the region and making war or regime change less likely. Vinny, do you agree?
I just so I'm because I'm not geopolitically versed that much. Is he talking about the same Iran that says death to America?
Yes.
Could we just make sure? Is that the?
Yes.
Okay. I absolutely disagree with him 1,000%. And going back to who was the CEO of what was it?
Rob, which one is this, Rob?
This is from the Tucker Carlson network. This is
Okay. Thank you for finding this. So could the Iranians obtaining the bomb wind up being a good thing? Whether anyone in the foreign policy establishment admits it, North Korea's nuclearization has undeniably stabilized the Korean Peninsula. The region has seen no wars, coups, or interventionist forced regime changes since 2006. Would Iran becoming a nuclear power have the same effect on its region? Could it finally prompt America to leave the area alone and incentivize Israel to drop its stated goal of continuing controlling the Gaza Strip and weaken the West Bank? Would it make the Iranian government less oppressive because it wouldn't have to worry about the West's constant decapitation ambitions? Vinny.
We're talking about a regime in a country that currently, and by the way, obviously you're not going to believe their numbers, over 20,000 civilians, they're not getting killed because they're fighting each other. The government is shooting and killing people protesting because they have had enough. We didn't come in there, whatever stupid story you heard of other countries coming in and starting this revolution, it's a breaking point for these people, okay? They're starving, they are pissed off, and they want change, okay? And giving that government nuclear weapons, and I'm not saying we're the perfect freaking government in the world, but guess what? We're keeping things pretty damn safe around the world. So, and by the way, when that guy was talking about, I think something's going to happen in the next couple of days, I do agree that might be one of the tactics. Tom, not the Greenland thing was going to happen regardless, but our ships are getting into place to do something. But at the end of the day, with this regime change, everybody's talking about who's going to be the change, who's going to be the guy, who? It's not going to be Reza Pahlavi. I'm sorry to all the people out there that are going to get pissed off and furious. He's staying in Washington with his wife and his kids. He's not going to go there and be the freaking leader that they're begging him to be. So all those people that are going to make these videos sitting in their cars, getting mad at you and getting mad at me, he's not the guy. Once you realize that, then they could shift their focus, Pat, and find someone. There has to be somebody in that group that's willing to step up and say, hey, I'll do it. Because he's not going to do it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the next couple of days that they're going to do something. But But to say that Iran, yeah, let's give the people that want to kill us nuclear weapons. Okay, great idea.
Tom, where are you at with this?
So they're not rational. What I just looked up here is a simple piece of history that I think Tucker may be thinking about, but I'll tell you something. This is not a rational state. India and Pakistan, they go way back, right, with each other.
Of course.
India conducted peaceful nuclear explosion in 1974. However, it then was 26 years later, on May 11th and 13th, 1998, declaring itself a nuclear-armed state. On May 28, 1998, in the Sky Hills, Pakistan conducted a nuclear test and said, we now are a nuclear club in response to it. When is the last time nuclear and Pakistan have had anything more than a border skirmish? Small arms fire, right? They haven't, because they're both nuclear powers. And it's like, I got it, you got it. Now, guess what? If we don't both want to get it, then neither one of us should push the button.
Yeah.
Those are rational states. You know what I mean, Pat? Those are rational states that now both had the big gun. I don't think the Islamic regime is a rational state. You know, India was not suicidal against Pakistan. Pakistan was not suicidal against India. Whereas when you get to the radical Islam states, they are suicidal when they come to their objectives. And I do not think it would stabilize the region. I think you're kind of giving the gun to a crazy man. Oh, well, let's hope he behaves like all the other nations that have become nuclear powers and kind of just say, hey, I got the bomb too, man, don't mess with me, casually. That's not the way this is working out.
Adam.
I love when Tucker Carlson talks, because the more and more he talks, it makes normal, rational people seem brilliant. Because the stuff he says, you're like, what? What is he? Did he really just say it? He wants Iran to have nuclear weapons? The regime that's killing their own people he's advocating? This doesn't make sense. So Tucker, please keep talking. Number two, that photo op with Maria Corina Machado and Reza Pahlavi, if we can pull that up real quick. That's a cute photo op. That's great. It's going nowhere. I don't think either of them are going to be the leaders of their respective countries. You know, we talk about movies, right? Sinners. Sinners is now the #1 most nominated movie. Not all countries are the same. If you were going to give Venezuela a rating in terms of how bad they are as a country, how bad they are to their people, they are rated R. Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, XXX. The worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. And Tucker wants to give them nuclear weapons? Not on my watch. Last point, and unfortunately, this is not going to be good news, in my opinion, to people who want to see the Islamic regime fall. I don't believe anything's going to happen until the supreme leader meets the supreme maker. Because while that guy's in power, he runs the army, he runs the IRGC, right? And they're willing to die for him. And they're willing to protect their Sharia law
Question
beliefs.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
And question for all you guys. And I'm just curious to know what you would say about this. By the way, if you pull up the Kalshi report you found, Rob, about Ali Khamenei out as a supreme leader. If you go back, and by the way, we're talking about almost $10 million.
Holy moly.
This is a real number. Look what it was on January 8th of him falling and being out. 75% was January 8th. What's January 8th? You're talking 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
He was at 75%.
Yep.
He's at 45% today.
That's
So
when
it's
the
gone down
riots
significantly.
It's gone down.
exploded,
You know,
right?
it's gone down. It's settled down, and it's and by the way, that is before September 26th, September 1st, 2026, which is 8 months from now, 7 months from now. Then it goes July 1st, all this other stuff. So momentum of that has been gone. You know, keep this in mind. We could be getting closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden Trump does an attack, and the world is like, well, he backed out. He didn't do anything. The man is unpredictable and fluid, and they'll make the decisions. If there's one thing we've noticed with a pattern, they've known since August they were going to be attacking Venezuela and the way they were going to be doing it. They've been planning. Delta's been planning it since August. It's not a new thing that they weren't doing. So all the other stuff, and I even had somebody that was on the military side told me the other day that Maduro could have even agreed to a deal for this to happen as long as he doesn't look like he escaped. Hey, just come and get me safely. I'm going to do this, do that. And you guys can come at this time and I'm going to be able to leave. There's many different speculations of what happened there. But going back to the conversation with Iran getting nuclear weapon, question for you. If you had the power to decide this, would you be okay with Iran getting nuclear weapon, the government, as long as its citizen can have firearms and they have Second Amendment? Or are those two different separate issues?
I think it's
Iran
separate.
gets nuclear weapon, but their people can have M16s, M4, guns. They have their own, be able to protect themselves. So if the government regime, the Hezbollahs want to come in and destroy their lives, they can do because now they're armed. Would you entertain that idea?
If the leadership is who? Staying as Khomeini? No.
No, you can't. Don't forget about the leadership.
Oh no, because I don't think that the decision to launch and go there would have anything to do with Second Amendment. Because what are they gonna do if the government right now, our government, wanted to go all out attack? Well, you can't. I worked at a nuclear missile base. You can't get to them. They're in a secure bunker. There's even the missileers are hidden away underneath. You're not gonna get to them. So I don't think it's two separate things.
No correlation between
No correlation because you're not going to stop the people that are actually pushing the buttons to launch. Period.
Tom.
What do you think?
I wouldn't make that trade. Would I like to see the citizens of Iran armed? And would I think that the protests would change overnight? Yeah, I do. But I wouldn't trade both because the regime is crazy. The regime is just their mission, their instability. I have a hard time. I like to know what you think. I didn't grow up there. I just look at it from the outside and I'm like, I just don't trust the crazy man with the weapon.
I think you guys are right, and I think I'm with you because one is out. So even if the U.S. government wanted to attack whoever else, they don't. Who cares if we have guns? They can go attack anybody if they wanted to. But would I love Iranian people to have Second Amendment?
For sure.
It would be interesting. Keep this in mind as well. Just because an idea works in America doesn't mean that idea is going to work in a different place. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we always think like it's because culturally, when you're raised in a certain way and you're more emotional, yesterday we're having dinner and I talked to you guys about a certain statistic study we've been doing with our team. The world population of Christians is 32%. The world population of Muslims is 24.9%. Follow these numbers here. 32% U.S., the world Christian population, 24.9% is Muslim, let's say 25%. Jews are 0.2% of the population. I want to say Hindus are 15% of the population, and you got Buddhists that are a percentage of the population. So 32, 25. Of the world's billionaire population, U.S. Christians are 33%, Muslims are 7%. The world's population of millionaires, Christians, 56%, Muslims, 6%, Jews, 0.2% of the world population, 19% of billionaires, okay? And they're like another 2% of millionaires is what they got, right? What does that tell you? What does a Christian nation do? It typically gets people to become rich and own and have equity. And what happens when you own things? What happens when you own a house?
You care more.
What happens when you own a business? What happens when you have equity? What happens when you're vested? What is the word vested? Like, when they say, I am fully vested with my shares. But what does fully vested mean? Forget about business. It means you're what? You're fully committed, right?
All in.
Okay. So a society who is not fully vested, they have nothing to lose. They're willing to burn anything down. Why? Because they have nothing to lose. Does that make sense? So to me, I don't know about the Second Amendment in Iran yet until the economy does better, until people have more equity, until people are doing better. Then you could feel comfortable with people having, weapons and Second Amendment because they don't have a lot to lose. The mentality is a very different mentality when talking about this. Adam.
Well, I'll give you some examples. Look at North Korea holding the world hostage. Their citizens don't have food, much less guns. So do we want a regime that's despotic and autocratic, having nuclear weapons, no way, Jose. But not all countries are the same. You talk about Christian countries versus, Islamic countries or Arab countries. Here's some countries where the citizens have guns, but the leaders don't have nuclear weapons. Ready? Switzerland, Finland, the Czech Republic, Canada. They seem to be doing okay, with the exception of that Finnish leader who thinks he's tougher than Trump. Here are the countries that don't have nuclear weapons, but their citizens have guns. Let me know if you'd want to live in these countries. Yemen, Afghanistan, Somalia, shout out to Minnesota, Iraq, Libya, Syria. So not all countries are the same. So no, I don't want Iran having nuclear weapons, and I would love to see their citizens have the Second Amendment, but unfortunately the Supreme Leader is stopping them from doing anything.
Efren, maybe take a minute here and share with the audience how you ended up being on the podcast.
So it was during Christmas, like you said, and I was going to buy the merch anyway, so I ended up buying 2 pairs of the shoes and then also the sales classes. I saw a massive discount, so I purchased that. And I actually love what you guys do on the emails. I still get emails right now saying you have not started the courses.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah.
So when are you starting them?
Well, because right now my goal is to improve communication,
Yep.
so I'm taking the course for that.
Good.
Once that's completed, then I'll jump to that course.
I love it. So it's actually following up with you to make sure
Yes,
you do it.
love it.
Well, good for the team. Good for you for doing that. When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.